I had the chance to study and read about the results of these clinical trials. It was remarkable to see how effective the vaccines were across populations. And as a result, I felt very comfortable not only getting the vaccine myself, making sure Michelle got the vaccine, making sure Michelle's mom, who is older, obviously, got the vaccine because she's more vulnerable, and encouraging everybody in my family and my friends and people in my circle and staff to get the vaccine. And yet we've still seen people who are concerned about the vaccine. And I think it's important to note that some of that hesitance has to do with people understandably always wondering, do I want to put something in my body that wasn't there before? Right. How safe is it? What I've tried to emphasize is that we now have millions of doses that have been administered. And the fact that we've seen almost no adverse consequences is actually pretty remarkable. When you look at history, early on, the polio vaccine obviously was an extraordinary human achievement. But at the beginning, there were adverse effects for a small but significant portion of the population that ended up, really being harmed as a result of the vaccine. In this case, we now have a pretty extraordinary body of evidence that these vaccines work, and they are safe for just about every conceivable combination of people that you might want.
All demographic and all ages, right?
Every demographic and all ages. So as you're having conversations, you're going out there, you're talking to a lot of people, what have you found to be some of the most common concerns, and what are the most effective responses to the concerns that people have raised about going ahead and getting the vaccine?
Well, I think it relates a lot to what you said of people have more of a wait and see attitude, and they want to make sure that enough people have gotten vaccinated that they feel that they are observing now. And as you said, it's extraordinarily safe. We now have over 140 million people have received at least one dose. So you get out and you explain to people, what are the areas that you're concerned? Are you concerned whether they're safe? You give them the data that's safe. Are you concerned that it works? The interesting thing, in the real world, following the trial, it works even better than in the trial, because usually when you're in the pristine conditions of a trial, things seem to do better until you get out in the real world. When you get out in the real world, it's even better. The thing that we have found right now, which is looking like it's becoming quite successful, is the outreach by using trusted messengers. So we have a thing called the COVID-19 Community Corps, where we've employed sports figures, celebrities, really important, Mr. President, clergy, particularly among the African-American population. They really trust their clergy. So what we've done is that we've reached out to these individuals, given them a lot of information so that they can then go out. Like, I have been on more discussions and podcasts and discussions with Black churches, with people like Jesse Jackson, with people like Al Sharpton, and over again we're doing that. And it has an effect, because the hesitancy among African Americans has dramatically diminished over the last 4 months. So it depends on what the group is. You've got to address it. You've got to give them the information and trust that they're smart enough to make the decision themselves.